When you first start getting into fitness, the term macros comes up quite often, and we begin to throw it around even if we don't know what it means. Now, if you stick with me, I'm going to make what could be a boring topic into something that will help you understand exactly what macros are, so next time you're in the gym and you're using the lingo, you can actually back it up with understanding what a macronutrient is and how it applies to you building more muscle and getting leaner and in better shape. By the end of this video, you're going to understand what carbs, fats and proteins are, the calories in each one, and how they actually work in your body to help you get the result that you want. And if your current approach is just chicken and rice forever, this is probably going to give you a bit more variety. So let's get into it. When I first started training in the gym, I was under the impression that if I just ate healthy, that would get me the results that I wanted. And it turns out that just eating healthy and actually eating the correct macros to recover from workouts, fuel your workouts properly and all that kind of stuff are two different things, which fucking rude, I know. But that's the case. So it's important that you understand this if you actually want to get more from your training. The term macros sounds really complicated, but in reality, it is basically just a blanket term for carbs, fats, and protein. And it's important that we talk about what each one of these does. But before we do that, you need to understand this. Imagine your body is an office block and every calorie is a member of staff walking through the door. Now, not every member of staff has the same job. You've got different departments to the office block that all do different things. And just like in a real office block, if Janice from accounts messes up, the whole thing goes to shit. Let's talk about each department. Protein is the maintenance team. They repair what's broken and they build anything that's needed. So in your body's case, muscle tissue. This is probably the most important part, because if you understaff the maintenance team, then the building falls apart and then you have nowhere to work. So make sure you put enough staff into the maintenance team, or in other words, ensure you're eating your protein. The carbohydrates are your energy department. You could think of this as the people giving out the coffee and making sure the lights are turned on, because without carbs the energy drops completely and you end up with an office full of people that don't want to do anything. And we can think of fats in this analogy as HR. They just quietly work away in the background, making sure everything runs properly and nobody really thinks about them or gives them the acknowledgement that they need until the shit hits the fan and it goes wrong. If you cut the HR team out completely, do not be surprised if the office all starts going a bit unhinged. In your body's terms, fats help you manage your hormones, so they're super important. Now you understand the role of each macronutrient, there's one more thing that you need to know. It can be a little bit confusing, but again, we're going to break it down into another analogy that'll make it super easy. If we think of the office analogy, then we've got payroll. Each department requires a different salary. Protein, so maintenance. For 1 gram of protein, there is 4 calories. HR, so your fats, for whatever reason, they get paid more. So 1 gram of fats is 9 calories, and your energy team costs the same as maintenance. 1 gram of carbohydrates equals 4 calories. Gram for gram, fats actually cost you more in calories than protein or carbs, which is why you have to be sensible when it comes to your portion sizing with fats. But as we found out before, they still need to be present and you need to allocate some space for them. But because there's 9 calories in 1 gram, you need to be more mindful of how much you're having. That's why things such as cooking oils, peanut butter, nuts all contain higher calories, because they tend to contain a lot of fats. These are still healthy, so you still need them in your diet. You just need to be mindful about how much you're having. Now that you understand that, the next best step would probably be to start tracking your food so that you can see how much of each you're having. Then you can start to dial them in so that they better suit your goals, and I'll talk about that on another video. If you found this useful and at any point you thought, oh, I didn't know that, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed. This is my first YouTube video and I fully intend on making more content like this to help make fat loss, building muscle and getting in great shape far more simple.